Hi, my name is Victoria Lodato and I'm a nutrition educator for New Jersey SNAP Ed. Today we will be learning about Stage 2 baby foods. Let's get started. When feeding your baby, the goal is to start introducing new solid foods over time. This is important so your baby will learn to enjoy a wide variety of foods that will help keep them healthy. Feeding your baby solid foods works in stages. First, solid foods should be strained or pureed foods, but as your baby gets older, the food should have more texture so your baby can learn to gum and then chew the food. The food appropriate for each age have different consistencies or thicknesses. These should be served in appropriate amounts. During stage 2, or around 8 to 10 months, can be a thicker consistency and incorporate finger foods such as thicker baby cereals, small pieces of well-cooked ground beef, poultry or fish with no bones or skin, cooked mashed beans or lentils, cooked vegetables and soft fruit that is mashed, shredded string cheese, and small strips of bread or tortilla. Now, let's learn how to make our own Stage 2 baby food. Today we will be making a roasted acorn squash puree. Acorn squash is incredibly delicious, nutritious, and loaded with nutrients. Did you know that 87% of the vegetable is water, so it's super hydrating? There are so many different ways you can prepare acorn squash for your baby. It can be pureed, baked until soft and cut into small pieces, mashed, or even made into soups. Before we begin to make our roasted acorn squash puree, we are going to need a few ingredients. We will need 1 acorn squash, 1.5 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and 1 tablespoon of low sodium chicken broth. To begin, we are going to preheat our oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, we are going to cut open our acorn squash in half and remove the seeds with a spoon. Once you finish cutting your acorn squash, place the halves cut side up and drizzle with olive oil and rub into the squash evenly. After you have rubbed in your olive oil, you will wrap each half with aluminum foil. Next, we are going to transfer our wrapped squash to a baking sheet. We are then going to place our acorn squash in the center rack of our 450 degree oven and bake for 30 to 40 minutes. Once your timer has finished, remove the acorn squash from the oven and remove the aluminum foil. Let the acorn squash cool for 5 to 10 minutes. After your acorn squash has cooled, we are going to transfer it to a cutting board. Once you're ready, you can begin to cut your acorn squash into smaller pieces or slices. Once you have cut both halves into slices, we are going to remove the peel from the squash flesh. You may do so with a knife or you can use your fingers. Just be very careful because it's still hot. Once you have removed all the peel from your squash, we are going to add it to our blender. In your blender, we are going to add 1 tablespoon of low-sodium chicken broth and mix together until the desired consistency. Remember, for stage 2 baby foods, we want it to be a little thicker or chunkier so our baby can learn to gum then chew the food. Once you're finished, your baby can enjoy a wonderful roasted acorn squash puree. It can be served immediately or kept in the refrigerator for up to 2 days. Thank you for participating in today's lesson on stage 2 baby foods.